Hello, my friends. For somebody who doesn't like to do videos, here's another one. I'm doing this way because I think it'd be much more conducive to demonstrating this for you as opposed to trying to explain it in text. And the reason I was inspired to do this is because I just had to do this, meaning this technique. I, like many of you with neurodivergence, live with anxiety as my default setting. My brain tends to go to catastrophe automatically, and then I need to reel it back in and use some rational thinking to balance it out so I don't go full-blown panic. And I really have found a lot of value in meditation over the years, but it takes patience with yourself and the willingness to look at some difficult things in order to really embrace meditation. But one of the biggest benefits of meditation is it can calm your nervous system down because it teaches you how to be less reactive to things. Well, there are times where meditation just isn't an option. Let's say you're about to go into a meeting or give a presentation, or you're about to have a difficult conversation with a loved one. You're about to ask for help and you're feeling very vulnerable. You're remembering all the times you were rejected or said no to, and your anxiety starts to rise. And you don't necessarily know how to bring the anxiety back down. You can make it spike like you were a pro, because you've had years of practice, but you don't know how to bring it back down. And because it's such an ever-present issue for me, I've spent decades trying to find every technique that feels right for me, not just every technique that exists, because otherwise I'd have this junk drawer of stuff I'm not using. And recently, I think, created a mishmash of a couple different strategies, and I just kind of intuitively did this in the moment once, and it works great. And what I essentially do, the core of this is 3 full deep breaths from the abdomen. Just a good feeling the breath rise and fall. But there's a little bit more you need to do with this, and I'll get to that right after I take care of this little allergy-induced nose issue. Life happens in the Midwest. So, and I didn't forget my train of thought. Very proud of myself. So one thing that I added to it, because I know where I feel the tension in my body when I start to get anxious. I feel it sometimes in my face, because I like to do some teeth grinding, and my shoulders. So in addition to the deep breath, I incorporate lifting my eyebrows, lifting my shoulders with the inhalation. Then when I exhale, I let it all drop. Because it's one thing to calm your breathing, but if your body stays tense, it will start to escalate you again, because it's sending signals to your brain that, hey, we're guarded here. We have armor because we're anticipating a threat. So if you want to calm down, you need to get your body to let go of the various things that it's doing to act like there's a threat. So what I found is 3, for me at least, is a good number of raising my eyebrows, raising my shoulders, inhale, exhale, let it all drop. I mean, really let it drop, let it hang on you. And do that 3 good times, and you could feel a big shift in your anxiety. Your head is clearer, you're more focused, you're more present, you're more grounded. Because one thing we know is we tend to get ourselves all worked up when our brain is not present, when it's what-ifing, when it's beginning to consider everything that can go wrong, or everything that could be harmful or upsetting or embarrassing for you. So we want to just nip that in the bud. And I found that this technique is really, really good at not only interrupting that escalation, but calming you right back down. And whatever you might be saying to yourself to sabotage the likelihood of you implementing this, like, well, what if people think I'm weird? What if people look at me? Good for them. Would the alternative to that be, well, I won't take care of myself right now, and I'll trade that in for a meltdown later when everybody else gets to witness. Okay, so between the two, which would you rather be caught doing? Melting down or doing something funny with your face to calm down? And I think the deep breath somebody sees you doing is going to clue them into the fact that you're trying to relax. And if they make any comment about it, Well, there's a four-letter word I'd like to offer you, and it's followed by YEU. In other words, let them have their bias, their prejudice, and you focus on taking care of yourself. Because ultimately, you're responsible for what you bring to this world. And you can't bring your best self if you are not resourceful because your anxiety is always so flippin' high, or you're reactive because your anxiety is always so flippin' high. You need to be able to have a calm nervous system if you are going to let your creativity, your focus, your wisdom come from the background instead of being hidden behind armor all the time. So that's just that quick technique. I hope it's helpful for you. Give it a try. We can even tweak it a little bit if something about it doesn't work for you. And if there's something else I can do for you, please ask. That's why I'm here. We're all in this together, and we're all going to succeed together. So this has been Brian. Have an amazing day, and thanks for being you.